guys, this is the one and only here on the YouTube channel here, Heavy Metal 95 here, once again. We got a brand new video. Today we got another manga reading log for the month of November of this year, 2025. But at first, sorry about the internet outage this morning. Hopefully it'll be back on by then, because I was trying to get on to check my internet's working, but apparently it was outage this morning. It'll be back on by 9 o'clock sooner or later. But anyways, enough about that. So before we start with this video, I thought I was going to be done with doing my manga reading log videos, but I had to do a new one like this one compared to my last one back in December last year, which was my last one. And I thought, okay, why not? This time I have only picked about 21 manga books, 5 titles, 21 manga books, 20 plus volumes. These ones I picked from my collection as well. So we're going to be doing what I read so far, because I'm going to do a manga reading log like this for once, even though I don't normally do that much on a lot of manga reading logs, because I don't normally do manga reading log videos that much, because I've been getting into album reviews nowadays. So yeah, I'll tell you more about it later. So the first one here I'm going to start off with that I read recently is Volume 10 of Rurouni Kenshin. However, this manga deals with how this goes on in the Kyoto arc in the story as well, about Kenshin seeking out the man who forged Arai Shaku, who turned away, who is basically for respecting Seiku's wishes, especially continuing of his father's work, of how when he leads the Desire Blade, before one of Shishio's spies learned about the Shaku, which is the one last sword. But this was before Kenshin is trained with Seijiro Hiko in this story like this one, because I just wanted to come to giving you for the fact like this as well, like that, for my say about. However, in Volume 13, this has the whole little hodgepodge as well, about the Oni Waban group has involved with the Allies, of how with the weird twit, consider their leader Shinomori Aoshi is considerably of, if this considered to the fact about how the deathmatch style begins between Makoto Shishio and his spies, and the whole ongoing thing to the whole of my curiosity of this is from whenever I want, the whole hodgepodge of this as well, because every arc has different stories on there. Like, this one deals in these different arcs, but this also includes like these other stories like this as well. However, in the later arc, in between Volume 26, Kenshin had the battle brawler between the Sekiho army. No, not really. Yeah, which it's really hypocritical about the whole hodgepodge of this loudmouth bragarts about the whole finding the whole provincial squabble between the local Yakuza, which is before Sanosuke returns to fight the old fight merchant ways, of how the whole tanglement in this one is for that. However, in this is the answer of how this goes in the later volumes as well, between the whole combat between Enishi in this, before this led to the final volume, which this led to the new era in the final story, where Kenshin and Kaoru has their child in this one. However, this manga includes the one-shot manga Meteor Strike in this one, and preview for probably what I learned a lot about this, because I just wanted to come across for the whole thing. Every story has a series finale, and the next one I read was Berserk. However, this deeps within in the whole dreams for what Casca has in the 40th volume of Berserk, about the Fornance battle to the endless horrors of these reaching those dark secrets, of how the imprisoned Casca's mind, of how it's shattering the events of the Invocation of Doom, of how this happened in the later volume of the Berserk series as well, because I just wanted to come by on how I learned a lot about the Berserk manga. This has got to my curiosity. The next one I got is Black Butler. I finally read this one for the first time, even though this is the last manga I have bought recently as well, because I have been wanting to get into the whole iniquity of how, for what I read this one as well. And we got a whole hodgepodge of more other ones, like Ranma 1/2. However, this one has led to the introduction of how Ranma has encountering Haposai, and as well as the whole antics of the martial arts and love triangle between Ranma, Akane Tendo, and Shampoo in this volume. And this is the whole thing. For on the whole, most of this is if you figure it out if you ever read the original manga. However, in the 18th volume, this has got to have the whole thing for the whole crazy antics in Ranma 1/2, because oh, sorry, I almost dropped it. This as well on the whole thing. To how I wanted to come by. However, in the 20th volume, as this dealt with the antics between Ranma and his mother. How this also has the story where the contrary jewel that made Shampoo go all vengeful and very violent in an own little chaotic thing of how this happened in the manga. Unlike the anime, but in this manga version, this has gone from nowhere in this one as well. And most of these chapters that were never adapted into the anime, but some of these ones were manga only as well. And in the 25th volume, in this other chapters in Ranma 1/2, where Moose has the lens of invincibility, where he goes all vengeful and very typical thing, because that's from whenever I wanted to come by for these manga chapters that were manga only, but not limited to, of never being adapted to an anime, like the original anime, for example. As far as if I can now remember, this has just got to my curiosity. With this chapter has got to my curious thing as well. On the whole hodgepodges, however, this manga has dealt with the attack between the rivalries between Shampoo and those twins in this manga, something right out in this manga like that as well. I just wanted to come by to the whole thing for this hodgepodge of how this has been going. And however, between volumes 30, and the same goes for volumes 35 and 30, volumes 34 and 35, these ones have these manga chapters as well. However, in the 35th volume, this is where the flock of evil birdmen from Jusenkyo always wanted to let out by the infamous Cursed Springs guide, who was the daughter of one who named Kima or something, tells Ranma about the secret map of the springs. It's where they capturing Shampoo in that one. It was taken by the leader of the bird people, and this is before Akane gets captured. This which led to the final volume in the original Ranma 1/2 manga, as far as I can now remember. And finally, at last, we got here are the Yu Yu Hakusho manga. In the 13th volume, this is the final tournament arc in the Dark Tournament. As this led about Togoro's memory, how this has the truth has been truth to be told, as well as Genkai in this Dark Tournament like arc in this manga, like this one. Same goes with the later arcs, like in the whole hodgepodge. In the 19th volume, this is basically the decide about the ruler of the demon plane reaching the final rounds in this final arc in the final volume of the Yu Yu Hakusho manga, like this as well. And this got to my thing of how I learned a lot about. So that's 21 manga books total, and this is one of them. And that's all I have that I've been reading so far more recently. So for those who haven't been wondering, as you guys all know, if you guys ever been watching the channel, I've been really getting into the metal song history videos and the album reviews and a guide to the genres of rock music and metal music, because normally I don't necessarily do manga reading log videos that much, but this will be my last one because I decided to move on to do some album reviews as well, because normally I was going to do like this one, but I haven't done one. Well, this is going to be my last manga reading log for once, because normally, even though I don't necessarily do a lot of like manga reading log videos that much, because I have been doing like these manga unhaul videos in the past years as well, back in September. I have traded in 100 plus volumes of manga at half price books, and then I sold some on Facebook Marketplace as well. But nowadays, I've been really getting to these days on album reviews, most significantly rock albums, as well as metal albums as well, because I have a good reason of why I have been really getting into these rock and metal albums for like the album reviews as well, because I've been really enjoying rock music and heavy metal music as well. And that's all I have what I got. So that's going to be it for my video for today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, especially if you're new to the channel. Smack the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the notifications bell button for more surprises if you miss anything new. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you like as well. And before we go, here's what I'm going to say for this, because to anyone here who hasn't been wondering, if you guys have ever been watching the channel, I have been wanting to started getting into there these days on album reviews, most significantly rock albums and metal albums as well, because that's the reason I've been started getting into album reviews nowadays, just to let y'all know for my curiosity as well. So this is Heavy Metal 95 signing off. Thank you for watching my video, and I'm glad you liked it. Hope you enjoy it. Hope to see you soon for the next video. Be sure to stay safe and stay healthy. Hope you all have a great day. Take care. Goodbye for now. Stay tuned for more videos that I got them planned for what's in store for more here.